Anchors up, sails at full. Welcome to the Sloopcast. How you doing today, Kyle?
Doing all right, Jared. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I'm gonna new tradition, good tradition. We're gonna do that quickly because past couple weeks we've gone a little bit over on Scarlet and grade. So let's not goof. Let's just go for it. Sound good?
Thing. Sounds good. 34-16 final score in Champaign. Another good quality road victory for Ohio State. I think overall happy with the win. A little banged up with a few players here, but yeah, I think overall, before we get into the report card here, just my thoughts of the game.
Sure.
I'll say it's probably the sloppiest game I've seen of the team so far.
Ohio.
Overall.
Ohio is sloppier.
I don't know. But either way though. It just seemed like really sloppy, and as the game went along here, Ohio State started taking care of business, and then Illinois started doing some up tempo, got some ball movement, and for the first time scored a touchdown in the red zone against Ohio State. Or Ohio State led up a red zone touchdown.
Yep.
Not just one, but two.
Yeah. And first time an opponent scores over 10 points against Ohio State. We let you know on Know Your Enemy that Altmaier is a very good quarterback. And he is.
Yeah, he was 68%. So that's really good against this Ohio State defense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we told you this is a very good quarterback that Ohio State had to play. Had some bad luck
it was
early
like
too.
I think it was like at 60% or under 60% that Ohio State was letting quarterbacks complete. So definitely well above that average.
Yeah, and this was a game of like ups and downs for the defense because as you mentioned, I mean, this was if you just look at like yards allowed and points allowed, this was the defense's worst day of the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, they did force, there's 3 turnovers, right?
3 turnovers. I was not expecting that, especially with Ohio State not really turning the ball over, surprisingly, or causing turnovers on defense here. And 2 fumbles and a pick in this game.
All 3 turned into 21 points. Like they gave the offense a short field. So, like I said, kind of an up and down day for the defense. Lots of impact plays, but, maybe didn't manage the downs and distance the way we've seen them do through the year.
Yep.
But let's get into the report card.
All right. Yep. Let's go ahead and start early here. So, as always, Jared, we start with the offense here. Game plan here. Game plan, I didn't really mind.
I've no issues with the offensive game plan.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, I'd probably say I'll say an A-. I think there were some.
I'll go with that.
I think there were some things that I would like to have seen Ohio State do, especially when they needed to get a play to get the offense going here. But I think overall, the game plan I can't really complain too much about. So yeah, A-.
In-game coaching. Don't
What
think
would you
too
say?
hard.
I know. What would you say, Jared?
They were supposed to be terrible on defense, and we struggled a bit, says Spikes. Yeah, I don't think that was. I don't think that was.
I don't think that was a game plan or the coaching.
Yeah. In-game coaching, I would say there were adjustments that weren't made that probably could have been made to sort of free up the running a bit. So for that, I'll probably just say like a B minus.
I was going to say a B plus. And Z Spike says Z plus or Z.
Z plus?
B plus. Yeah. Wow.
Z
B plus. Z plus. Yes. All right. Quarterback play. I got to look, see if I can try to pull it up real quick here. Julian Sand, 19 for 27, 166 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah.
In this game. Was this his no, he definitely threw a lot less in the Texas game. This was his, I guess you could say, his worst performance game in terms of yardage and percentage completion since that Texas game, which is crazy to say because at Texas he threw the ball 65% completion, and here he was 70%. So really accurate.
Yeah.
No picks still. Like, I'm really pleased with his decision making.
It's been a few games since he's thrown one.
Yeah, since Ohio when he threw 2.
Right. Again, sloppiest game. So, nothing spectacular from Julian saying this game. Didn't do anything wrong per se. Didn't put up a lot of yards. A lot of that had to do with the fact that they faced a lot of short fields thanks to the defense.
Yep.
I'll go A minus. He took care of the ball, which I think at this point is what you expect from him.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. He took care of the ball. He did what he needed to. Didn't really need to force it where he didn't need to. I think we'll coming up here with the receivers here shortly, but distributed the ball really, really well here.
Yeah.
So I thought, A minus for me. And Chet says A minus as well. All right, Jared, run block. I think this is where we need to grade a little bit harsher here.
No, for sure.
If you remember when we did the Know Your Enemy, I am trying to pull it up here. Illinois was 72nd in running yards per game at 158 and 97th in rushing yards per rush at 4.7. Ohio State had 106 on 37 carries for 2.9 yards per rush.
Right. Jackson didn't get a lot of carries in this game. Retweaks his ankle. Jackson was running well. He had just shy of a 5-yard per carry average. The next, Donaldson is who he is, which is mostly a short yardage, get you 3 or 4 yards kind of guy. Ohio State needs to look at their running back depth and see if they have a third running back, because at this point I'm pretty comfortable in saying Peoples isn't it. I don't know if it's Isaiah West. I don't know who it is, but one freshman running back is already your best running back on the team. Maybe it's time to take a look at some of the other young guys. Now, that being said, the run blocking was not exceptionally good this game either. And because that's what we're supposed to be talking about right now, not the running backs, which I kind of just jumped on to there for a second. But they should have been a game in which Ohio State went up and down the field at ease, basically all the time. I mean, Indiana, and, you know, maybe some credit to the defensive coaching staff at Illinois. Maybe Indiana exploited a bunch of things that Illinois sort of, you know, self-scouted on and corrected. And maybe those angles of exploitation were no longer quite as bad. I don't really know. I haven't seen film yet, so I can't say for sure. But yeah, the run blocking based off of expectation was bad. I'm going to say a D.
Yeah, it was not good. I was going to go with a C minus, just because there were times when they need to get the couple of yards on 3rd and short, and on that 4th down, the offensive line did get the push they needed to, but didn't need to be put into that situation where they needed to get that 1 yard. They should have had the first down or the touchdown, or whatever the case may have been. So I'll give them a little bit of credit. So I'll say C minus.
Yeah. Pass blocking.
I felt like San had most of the time had like all day to throw.
Yeah.
I think the pass block has been exceptional.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't really complain about it, so I'm going to say an A. I thought pass block was spot on.
I agree.
No sack. Again, no sacks in this game.
No sacks. I don't particularly remember Sayan being forced to scramble all that much. I mean, there were some planned scrambles as far as rollouts and whatnot, but for the most part, I don't remember him taking any big hits. I don't remember. I'm not going to say he was totally clean. I think he was hit a couple times, but
he did take a big hit on a scramble out where he got 1 yard, or if that, and he got a big hit there, but that was off of a scramble though.
Right.
Okay. All right. Running.
I kind of already
back
said my piece here. If the run game's going to struggle, if Jackson is going to have, if he's going to have to be limited due to injury, and he's a true freshman and he's already having some injury issues, you know, I thought Jackson looked great. Unfortunately, his day was shortened. I'm gonna do like a B minus.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. B minus. There were times when they got hit in the backfield, but was able to make something out of nothing there. So I'll give him a little bit of credit for not taking too many tackle for losses, which Ohio State had four tackles for losses on offense. Not that great. They didn't lose much, like on the stat sheets here. Illinois had 4 tackle for losses for 5 yards. So it wasn't like they went back a lot and all that, but so that tells you that Ohio State did not get any kind of push when running the ball.
The sneak was good, though.
Yeah.
Julian Sand had like, he needed inches and got like 3 yards, something like that.
Yeah. Yep. All right, receivers. No one really stood out here. There were some moments here. Jeremiah Smith with a couple of splashes there. Tate with another toe tap catch in the game here. Nothing spectacular. They just they got the job done. Yep. Is kind of how I took the receivers here. What was it here? For 5 catches by Ohio State's tight ends there, to really getting the tight ends involved these past few games here, as we're starting to see a lot of 12 and even 13 formations here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, part of the problem there is, you know, to maybe jump back to the run blocking real quick. Claire had a couple bad misses from a run blocking standpoint.
Really bad, yeah.
So unfortunately,
And that was
right
the one
now,
where-
it
that was the one-
looks like you're in a situation where you have your blocking tight end and you have your pass catching tight end, and that, you can't just have one in when you're going to run and one in when you're going to pass. That's a little too obvious of a tell.
Yep, in the one miss block, got Smith like really hurt there. Got Buckeye Nation worried up there. Yep,
as Spikes points out down in the chat. Yeah. But no,
so
I thought the receivers did fine. Unfortunately, Illinois deployed the dreaded, umbrella defense and was sort of forcing everything underneath for Ohio State. There's a lot of holes in the Illinois defense, but their safeties are not one of those holes. I think Cox had a great game for them. Was all over the field. But yeah, high expectations for the receivers, didn't necessarily meet those high expectations. I'll say like a B.
Yep, I was thinking B plus. They did what they needed to. I can't really think of like a drop or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean they didn't do anything wrong. That's why I didn't take them down into C or D territory, but I didn't, no one exactly took over the game either.
Yep. Okay. Drives and conversions. Ohio State was 8 for 15 and 1 for 1 on 8 for 15 on third downs and 1 for 1 on fourth downs. So over 50% when, let's see, Illinois was, they were letting up 45%, which is one of the worst in the in the country there. So did what they needed to, but I felt like Ohio State could have converted more of those third downs if the run blocking got a little bit better there.
Sure.
So I'll say like a
also had to settle for
B minus.
Also had to settle for 2 field goals.
Again, B minus.
21 of the 34 points were off of short field. Provided by the defense. I think B minus is probably fine.
Okay.
Is that what you said too?
Yep, B minus. Yep. And chat says B minus. All right, and last one, explosiveness. According to what I see here, if I do comparison, if I do big plays, actually, what would you think Ohio State's longest play was? How many yards?
I think I know. It was Claire for 22.
22 yards.
Yeah. They're outside
Ohio State only had three
what,
rushes.
The Jackson long handoff pass, which ended up going for a touchdown. I don't know. They didn't feel explosive at any point to me.
Correct. Yep. Three plays that went over 15 yards in the passing and 3 plays that went 10 yards or more on the ground. And looking at the other way, Illinois had 9 big plays. If I'm wanting to flip that, but we'll cover that on the defensive side. So explosiveness, not good. I'm going to say D plus, not good.
Yeah, I said C minus.
Especially when you needed to, you should have been able to move the ball a little bit better on this defense. I mean, we were just, when we talked about this Illinois defense, we were like, Ohio State's going to be able to just assert their will on this team and be able to just move at ease. And there's times like they really couldn't. They couldn't get anything done on the ground. Again, 2.9 yards on the ground.
Just look at what Indiana did against them.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And chat says a D.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep. All right. With that is the offense side. We'll take a quick ad break and we'll get to the defense. thesloopcast.com is your go-to link for anything and everything Sloopcast related. Again, that is thesloopcast.com. You can find our Patreon page, Discord, YouTube, our merch store, our 7071 store, and much, much more over at, again, thesloopcast.com. Take that ad break and be right back.
All right, Kyle, time for the defense.
All right, defense here.
Defensive game
first
plan.
thing, I can't complain too much of what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought overall the defense did really well. And we talked about it on Thursday's episode, that Altmaier's a really good quarterback, very, very accurate passer, maybe the best accurate passer Ohio State will face all season here. And he lived up to it, 68%. But I thought Ohio State really contained him and his passing attack here. And we knew he was going to make some plays here, but I thought overall what the defense was trying to do, I can't really complain too much about it. Yeah, he was definitely frustrated in that first half. Yeah, those first two drives, you can definitely see that Ohio State got into his head there. But as soon as Illinois went up tempo there, all of a sudden, kind of got Ohio State off balance, and Ohio State did kind of respond a little bit after that, but they did catch Ohio State off guard there. So I'll say an A- for the game plan.
I'll go with a standard day.
Okay.
I think the in-game coaching was more my concern.
Okay.
As far as, maybe they weren't expecting Illinois to go up tempo. They didn't necessarily adjust to it well or quickly. At the same time, the second Illinois touchdown was kind of whatever. Like, the game was over at that point. The starters were still in, don't get me wrong, but like, whatever. But still would like to see the passion stay up. Still would like to see everyone keep coaching. But Illinois made some adjustments, and Ohio State just kind of didn't necessarily seem to care that much. So I'll probably go with like a B here.
I mean, that's fair. I was kind of thinking of a B+. I can't complain too much. I'm definitely going to grade him a little bit lower there. But man, like, even though Ohio State did let up 2 touchdowns in the red zone, especially that first time that Illinois got into the red zone, and everybody was just going absolutely nuts. Like, how can they keep getting away with this?
Right.
That kind of. But all good things do come and end, unfortunately. But yeah, I think a B+ is a good grade. Tackling. This is a very, very well coached and disciplined team when it comes to tackling. I don't really see any missed tackles. None that I can really think of offhand. I don't remember one. I feel like I'm repeating myself from last week. So I thought tackling was right on.
Yeah, I agree. Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on to run stop. Ohio State still very, very good when it comes to stopping the run. One of the best, top 10 in opponents' yards per rush. Helped them out here that they held Illinois to 1.7 yards per rush here. 27 attempts, 47 yards. You can't get much better than that. You can't get much better. So I'll throw an A+ on there. I thought it was really good. You held Illinois to 1.7 yards when Yeah, I mean, they weren't the best team offensively when running a ball when they were averaging 3.3 per carry. But yeah, I was really happy with how they were stopping Illinois' rushing attack. So A+.
One of their running backs had a 6.3 per carry average. I can't give them the plus.
Sure. And he had, and that one run was half of his yardage there.
I understand. How many carries? 8.
He had 8.
8 carries, 50 yards, a touchdown, a long of 23.
Mm-hmm. All right. Pass rush. 4 sacks. We knew that Altmaier got hit, is constantly getting hit all season. He had 19 going into this game. Tack on 4 more after this one for 23 times this year. Ooh, you got to protect your quarterback there. I thought the pass rush did well later on in the game. Early on, I felt like we weren't getting home in time, but I feel like that's been all year. It's kind of see how Illinois plays offensively and then build a game plan from there. That's kind of how I see it, though. But I'd say an A-. I thought they did pretty well from a pass rush.
Yeah, there are definitely situations, and I think it's not as bad as some Ohio State fans think it is, because there are definitely situations in which the defense just kind of rushes 3 and sits back in an 8-person zone, and it's hard to get pressure in those situations. But at the same time, they aren't winning enough when it's 4. When there's 4 defensive linemen and they're all going after the quarterback, they need to win those battles more often and quicker than they're doing now. They weren't even trying to shed the block, instantly locked up. Yeah, and there was still a bit of containment happening too. Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going with like a B. They need to be better when rushing just 4.
Sure. I was trying to find the number. I think I might have found it. I think he was averaging. It was right around 2.5 seconds per throw.
Yeah.
So he's getting rid of the ball quickly. So it's hard getting home on average there, but I think for the times that he did hold on to the ball a little bit longer, Ohio State did make him pay there.
Pass coverage.
Pass coverage. Man, this is tough just because we knew Altmaier's, again, feel like being a broken record here, apologize. Very accurate passer, 68%. He was 30 for 44, 248 yards, touchdown to interception. I thought pass coverage, they didn't let anything deep. Everything was in front of them. They made Altmaier just work for every completion. Really worked through it. And I thought overall the pass coverage is there. Altmaier just made better throws. And you hear it all the time too about, I think in a basketball analogy where you can have a really good defense, but if you just got someone who can just shoot up a 3 with a hand in your face, that's just a heck of a shot. This is just a heck of a quarterback making plays there, even with the defensive backs just all over the receivers there.
They weren't always all over them, though.
I thought overall they were. Yes, there were times that they weren't, but I thought overall the defensive backs did a pretty good job.
We've talked a lot about how Ohio State has sort of allowed they're super strict on like the run and the short stuff, and they're super strict on not letting any big plays behind them. And as a result, the middle of the field kind of sometimes gets lost. And they were doing that again this game, but I think the difference here being that Altmaier was good enough to take advantage of that. You could up until this point with every quarterback they played, you could basically threaten them. You could say to them, yeah, just try and hit those intermediate passes consistently. We dare you. Mm-hmm. Just try and build your entire offense around that. Problem is that, they have good receivers. They have a great quarterback. They were able to do that. And that's how, so we could probably maybe call this more of a defensive scheme issues. Maybe we revisit, game plan as opposed to the players in pass coverage. I'm actually sort of talking myself into that. I think I'm going to maybe drop the defensive game plan down to a B. Because I think they were basically, and the in-game coaching maybe down to a B-, because I think they were basically kind of running the same defense of just like daring the quarterback to complete those intermediate passes all game, but Altmaier was capable of doing that.
So what would you say the pass coverage then is?
I'm going to say a B. Because I think it was mostly a game plan issue, and not necessarily a player issue. So maybe even more like a B+.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking B+ for the pass coverage too. Let's see if this actually has it. I don't know if this covers pass breakups. Ohio State had 6 pass breakups in this game.
Yeah.
Iggy had 4 of those.
He also had a couple uncalled penalties, if we're being honest.
Sure.
All right. Impact plays.
3
turnovers, 4 sacks.
3 turnovers. And it has to be said, those 3 turnovers led to 21 points.
Yeah.
That itself right there is an impact play itself.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's going to be an A+. That's got to be an A+.
Yeah. Defense essentially, sets up 21 offensive points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Stops. Illinois 4 for 14 on third downs. Okay, that's good. But then they were 3 for 5 on fourth down. So if you take that in combination of third downs, they were 7 for 14 in conversions.
Not as good.
So 50%, not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
In terms of what Ohio State has done historically, like they held teams to 21%. 21%. Well, but it was lower than that. It was like 18% before this game, 18 or 19%, but it's higher now. Not good in my eyes here. So I'm going to say C. I'll say C on stops.
Yeah. I'll go B-, but yeah, I agree.
And chat saying C+. All right, Jared. And the last one is don't break.
They didn't have their longest play was 20 yards. Is that correct?
Their longest play was 23 yards by that one rush.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But their longest pass was 20 yards.
Longest pass was 20. Longest reception was 20. Longest run was 23. In a large part to the fact that they're a very disciplined tackling team, this defense is still doing a really good job not allowing big plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Allowed 2 plays of 20 plus yards, but 0 of 30 plus.
Yeah. I mean,
so I'll say, gosh, this is just the spoiled person in me. I'll say an A-, honestly. Keeping everything in front. It's just kind of defense Ohio State is right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the A- is fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, anything else before we take an ad break and talk about the team overall here?
Nope, let's do that.
All right. Thesloopcast.com, your go-to link, everything Sloopcast related. Won't bore you again of me saying all the lovely links in there. Just check out thesloopcast.com. If you want to hang out with Jared and I and the rest of Buckeye followers, hit us up on discord.thesloopcast.com. If you're not familiar with what Discord is, it's kind of like our own private channel where you can go and chat with fellow Buckeye fans, whether talk about the game, talking about college football in general, professional sports. We got a lot of channels here, a nice community that Jared and I have built out, and yeah, definitely check us out if you're interested. Again, that is discord.thesloopcast.com. We'll take that ad break and finish up our ratings.
All right. Overall, in-game coaching.
In-game coaching, I would say an A-.
Yeah. I think I would have preferred. Yeah, Chad is saying B. I'm more on their side of it as far as just. Okay. I'm going to bring this up again when we talk about motivation and effort. You're right. They did not keep their foot on the pedal, and I think that needs to be criticized.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, changed mine to B. I was kind of looking at kind of across like, average of game plan across, but no, you're right. Yeah, in-game coaching. Yeah, I kind of wish they made Altmaier. They took away those intermediate, if I can talk, passes a little bit more. Motivation. I thought the motivation was there. And effort was there. I can't really grade down from them there. So I'll say like an A-.
I disagree, because I think they started off with good motivation and effort, but I think they're kind of just going through the motions in the second half of the game.
I wouldn't say so.
I would.
Okay. All right.
B.
All right. I'll say A-.
Yeah, it's gonna take.
All right, execution. All right, execution. I think I'm gonna judge harshly on the execution side. Offensive line not getting it done on the rushing side, and yeah, I'm gonna say execution wise like a C+. I'll say C+ on execution.
Interesting. I'm leaning more towards. I'm not going to say there weren't execution issues, because there were, but I think my blame's more on the coaches this week than field execution, personally.
Okay. Yep. C+ for chat as well here.
Discipline.
All right, discipline. Honestly, had a lot of penalties. 7, uncharacteristic for them. 7 penalties for 59 yards. What are they? They were one of the top in the country. They were averaging, it was like right at 4 penalties per game. It raised that up to 4.8 per game right now. So very uncharacteristic of Ohio State, but we go into a hostile environment on the road against top 25 opponent at the time there.
Do we know what the penalties were?
I can, yes. If I go here, go to penalties. All right, so we had illegal forward passing. That was
that they just lined up bad there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
that's bad.
There's a delay. There's 2 delay of games that were on the hunting, which I thought that was really odd.
Yeah,
and then they had an offsides as well, which that was on the kickoff then. So really, the offensive side, it was fine. Well,
the offensive side lined up. They didn't know how to line up, Kyle.
Yeah. And then there was the offsetting one with Jeremiah Smith too, but that one isn't added in there. And then there were 3 penalties on defense. All of them were pass interference.
Okay.
They were not all, only Iggy had one of them. He should have had more, but he only had, per the stats, he only had one. Maybe. He had one, second one. Wow. There's a long paragraph there. Pass interference on Sanchez. And then the third one was on Jermaine Matthews.
Okay. Discipline. I'm gonna say like a B-, I think.
Yeah, that's where my head was going to, B-.
The delay games on punts are annoying, but not necessarily impactful. Pass interferences can happen.
Sure. All right. Special teams, Jared.
Special teams. Ennis had a good return.
He did.
Ennis also
seems to have one good one a game on average right now. He seems to have one in there.
Yeah, he also pretty skillfully prevented the onside kick. But like not knowing how to line up for punts is bad. The entire punting game is bad. The entire punting game is not the punt return game, but the actual punting game was egregious. Yeah, I agree. We cover kicks well. I think pretty much all of my issues right now are specifically with the punting game. So part of me wants to grade real harshly because of that, but there are a lot of other phases to it. So I'll probably go like a B-.
Yeah, I was thinking of a B- as well. Yeah, the punting game needs help. You can get away with that in this game and other games, but sooner or later it may bite you in the butt where you're deep in your own side, and then you need a good punt to try to swap fields, and you're only averaging in this game 37.8 yards per punt. That's not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's another punter on the roster, another scholarship punter, who's a huge human being. My understanding is that there are consistency issues there. So it sounds like there's we got one guy who's consistent, but not necessarily doesn't necessarily have a lot of distance. And another guy who apparently has a lot of distance, but isn't super consistent. I guess would be my general understanding of what's happening there. And they're just going with the consistent guy at the moment.
Sure. All right. Turnovers. I mean, A+.
Yeah.
You're +3. Three turnovers on defense. You didn't let up any turnovers. No dumb turnovers on special teams. Yeah, A+.
Overall offense.
I'm just looking at the average here. It's got to be like I say a C plus is what I'm seeing for my average.
I agree.
And chat says B minus. And defense. Kind of looking at the average here. My average is kind of looking like it's a solid B. A B.
Yeah.
And chat has B minus.
Yeah, I guess I was considering putting a plus on that. Again, Altmaier, very, very good. He's very good.
Very good. Very good.
We said that during Know Your Enemy. I think he's a very good quarterback. So part of me wanted to kind of throw him a plus on the B plus because of the expectations of what the other team was capable of, but overall grade.
Overall grade, kind of look at this. You 34-16. You cover the spread. No huge injuries. I mean, we're still keep an eye on. I think JJ Smith is fine. Keep an eye on what's happening with Bo Jackson here.
Yeah.
I think overall here, I guess I'll say like a B minus. So I'll say a B. I'll stick with a B. And B minus for chat as well.
Yeah.
I'm just a little annoyed about. Again, this is just the spoiled Ohio State fan in me. That 16 points when I think the defense is better than that, and I think they know they're better than that too. But again,
I think the offense.
Looking at the other side of Altmaier being a really good quarterback, really accurate quarterback too. There were just some dumb moments in there. You wish that the defense had back to be able to stop them and get off the field.
Yeah, and honestly, my bigger issue here was on the offensive side. I'm actually I still have the report card up on this monitor. I know I've taken it off of the screen, but I think the offensive game plan being an A minus, Spikes said B, and I think he was probably at least closer to correct. The more I think about it, I think that the offensive game plan wasn't great coming into this game. Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess it is what it is. It's, it's still, you go on the road against a ranked Big Ten opponent and you double them up. +1. And, that's still a good thing. That's still a very good thing. And also, and I'm including myself in this, we as Ohio State fans, the fans kind of still have this chip on their shoulder. Like, we got to prove something to everybody. And I don't necessarily, I mean, that's not true anymore. We're defending national champions. And also, the public perception of things used to really matter. Public perception of your team used to matter because you had to make it to the top 2 in a popularity contest. Then you had to make it into the top 4 based off of a popularity contest. You're now in a situation where you can just win and get in. You win your conference, you're in, and no one else's opinion matters after that. And as proven last year, even if the opinions on you aren't necessarily super high, it's a much lower bar to be one of 12 as opposed to one of 2 or one of 4, and you can still get in and prove yourself.
Yeah.
I think we need to get out of this mindset that every single game has to be a game where we, do a live execution of the other team on the field. Mm-hmm. That we need those style points every single week when you just don't anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
You doubled up your opponent, your conference opponent, who was ranked on the road. That's a good day.
Yep. I was trying to find it. There's no official stat, but I'm going off of average here. Ohio State punting, if we go on off of their average punt, would put them ranked 96th in the country. Roughly.
Crazy to say, I'd rather see Oregon and Indy for the Big Ten championship than Indiana. Well, too bad. Indiana's upcoming schedule is not that great, but we can talk about that on the Wednesday show, which is called Collegiate Chaos. We have a lot to talk about on Collegiate Chaos, Kyle. I'm not even going to say James Franklin's name on here when we're already 50 minutes into the show. So,
yeah.
Kyle, is there anything in Kyle's corner?
Without talking about college scope in general here, where would you think Ohio State opening up favorites against Wisconsin this weekend? Where would you think it opened it up at?
I mean, didn't they just lose to Wisconsin like 37-0? Or excuse me, they are Wisconsin. They just lost to Iowa.
Yeah. 37-0. Yes. My first thought was 31.5. That was my first thought, was 31.5.
34.5.
34.5. Spike says 25.5.
Esquire said 24.
28.5.
Kyle, that's not enough.
That's not enough. All right, that's it. That's all I got. And I think
hasn't Ohio State, depending upon which book you looked at, because I think depending upon the book, they either did or didn't cover against Ohio.
Every game,
but I believe every other game they have definitively covered. Yes.
Yeah. They've covered. Yes. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 5-0-1.
No, they're 5-0, or they're either 6-0 or 5-1, depending upon which casino you're using, I would say.
Yes. Yep. Correct.
Yeah. Buckeyes to Fickle. Oh, that's
oh, geez.
That's egregious.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Here we are, that Fickle would still be head coach in Franklin.
Yeah, no, that I would not have taken that bet. Hey, someone comes up to you to get who loses their job first, James Franklin or Luke Fickle. I know which bet. Right. I know which bet I would have taken.
That's all I got.
Oh man, Kyle, I think our Wednesday show is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
A third of the top 25 lost again this last weekend. A third of the top 25 lost, roughly.
Yeah.
It was 8, which is 24, and there's 25. But hey, let's, do a little bit of rounding for me.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight's ending music brought to you by a band called My Own Desert Island. My Own Desert Island, name of the band. So with all that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, of course, support local podcasters. Once again, this is My Own Desert Island.